So now that we've done dynamic ranking, we're going to run across this common requirement from your clients. Your clients, they want to see the top 3 products for each category. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to use the dynamic ranking we did in the previous video, and we're going to kind of build on that to show you exactly how we're going to get to that result. So first thing, we have 2 possible solutions to do this, and all of this depends on your filter context and what you see in your visual. So the very first one is actually quite simple. So as you see on the screen, we basically have our sales amount, we have the category and the products and the sales for each category based on the filters we have here. This is dynamic. What we're going to do is we're just going to drag the rank in category in here. Let's drag it in. I'm just going to drag it in over here so we can see what it is. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's brilliant. See within each category like we did in the previous video. But what we're going to do is very simple solution is we're going to look at the filters on this visual. If you don't know how to find that, just click on the filters there. If your filters are not visible, you might just need to go to view and say filters. And then what you do is you drag it into filters on this visual and just go show me anything less than or equal to 3. And you say apply filter. And what you'll have here is quite simply you have each category with the top 3 products underneath each and the rank of each of those. So you can see it's dynamic, but if 2010, 2013, 2014, 2011, it's all very dynamic. Okay, cool. So I just want to bring your attention to this measure quickly. So that's the first way to do it, very simple. Just if you look at the dynamic measure, remember that we have the isInScope function here. And basically we'll only show results where the product name is in the row context. So you can see here, it basically returns a rank when the product name is there. So you can't use this method, for instance, if you basically don't have your product name there. You can see if I drag my category in here, it's always blank. It's because of that isInScope. So the second solution is a little bit more dynamic based on the principle that you might not have the product as a row. So what we'll do is, let's quickly look at this. So let's say, for instance, we want to do this. We're going to say create a new measure. We're going to introduce a new function here, the top N function, which is quite cool. Okay, so we start this measure off by basically creating a table. So this table, we use the generate statement. We call this table the top 3 products table or variable. And then here we use the generate function. The generate function basically takes 2 table arguments, which is the category, and it takes this table argument here where we use the top N, and it basically does a cross join between the 2. So each combination of category with the top 3 products for each category. To show you that in action, I'm going to quickly go to DAX Studio. So already I have it here in DAX Studio. I'm going to drop a link to DAX Studio there, and I run it. Okay, so what it's returning here, you can see for accessories, it's returning only 3 products. Those are the top 3 products. For bikes, it's returning only 3 products. For clothing, it's only returning 3 products. So it basically returns a table with a cross join between each category and the top 3 products based on sales for each one of those products underneath that category. Okay, before we go on, let's quickly talk about top N. Top N, let's look at the arguments. You see top N takes the first argument is how many tops do you want to do? I want to do top 3. Across what? We want to do it across all products. The product name, all selected, and then we basically want to base it on the sales amount. That's how that works. So once we have that, we simply say calculate the sales amount based on this table over here. Cool, and we return the result. What do we get? Let's quickly see. It's actually quite cool, quite simple and quite cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it in here. You can see the top 3 sales over there. Let me quickly, so you can see for accessories, those are the top 3 sales. Bikes, those are top 3 sales. Clothing, top 3 sales. Just to validate these results, I'm just going to quickly put it in this table over here, just next to this. You can see the amounts actually add up. So you can see, based on solution 1, you can see accessories as 224, bikes has 348, and clothing has 72,000. Let's do it for 2010 only. You see, that makes sense. 2013 only, yes. 11, yes. And that's basically how you can do the ranking. Isn't that cool?